in the Agency and Freelancer Academy. So I'm very excited about this one today. I'm glad that you are all able to join me. If you could just let me know using the chat box that you can hear me okay and that you can see the like presentation deck on the screen, that would be awesome. And maybe let me know where you're tuning in from today as well. That'd be really great. Perfect. Okay, so I can see we have Tiara here from Bermuda. Awesome. Thanks for joining us today, Tiara. Ian says everything is fine here in Ontario. Okay, great. I see a couple other people typing away too. Angela in Las Vegas, Todd in Colorado. Awesome. We have like an international crowd today. Victor from South Florida, Catherine from Nigeria, Jack in New Jersey, I guess that is. Awesome. This is great. Cool. Well, look, everyone, thank you for joining me today. We will kick the webinar off in a couple minutes. Like, I'm not going to wait around for ages, but I also just want to make sure that everybody has the time to join. You know what it's like with these things. Sometimes people misplace the links or struggle to get into the webinar software for whatever reason. So we'll give it another maybe 1 or 2 minutes before we get started. And then today we're going to be talking all about how you can leverage the opportunity of upsells to increase your agency's revenue this year. So that's going to be today's topic, 5 ways agencies can upsell their customers to skyrocket revenue. So I hope you're all looking forward to that one. And as I said, we will kick things off in another minute or so's time. So before we do that, how about you let me know, I can see there's a good number of you on this webinar today, which is fantastic. Why don't you let me know whether, I have 2 questions for you actually, whether or not you've visited or been on one of these webinars with myself and the team at Promo Republic before, and also let me know if you are currently a Promo Republic customer or not. That would be really interesting for me to find out. Once we have a few answers from a few people, I think we will be ready to kick things off. So Victor's been on a previous webinar before. That is awesome. Thank you for coming back. You can see we have a lot of other people typing too. Lorraine, good morning to you as well. Todd, yes, yes, no. Okay, Todd, you have to forgive me. I can't even remember the order of the questions. I think it was, have you been on a webinar before? Are you a Promo Republic customer? I can't remember the other one. Tiara, yes, not a customer. Ian, have been on one before and currently a customer. Awesome. Cool. So we have a good mix of people, which is great. Yes, so Jeffrey, we actually didn't have a webinar last week. We're deciding to cut the webinars down a little bit and just do 2 webinars a month right now, and that's because the webinars are going to be even more action-packed. So we want to take a little bit more time to prepare them, and we're also going to have some special guests on future webinars with us as well. So the next webinar will be on the 28th of February, and we're going to have a co-host for that one too. So I hope you're looking forward to that one. Okay, Todd. Okay, Jeffrey says, easy if you'd email direct links so we could just. As far as I'm aware, you should receive emails with links to the webinars if you signed up, but I'm not too sure. I can ask the team. Cool. Okay, so let's kick things off. I think we've given it enough time for everybody to show up. We've given it a couple of extra minutes, so let's kick things off. Let's get things started. Today, episode 19 of the Agency and Freelancer Academy webinar series, we're going to be talking about 5 ways that agencies can upsell their customers to skyrocket revenue. Now, we have quite an action-packed agenda today, so I'm gonna I would say get through this as quickly as possible, but I also want to make sure that you are seeing the most value as possible. So I'm going to try and make sure this doesn't go longer than 50 minutes or an hour, but I'm not going to make any promises. Let's just see if things like I like to keep these webinars extremely interactive as well. So please make sure you're engaging with me in the chat. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them as we go, and I'll stop and take them throughout the webinar. But this is our agenda today. So we're going to talk about defining your service offering as an agency. We'll talk about the differences between upselling and cross-selling. We'll talk about when is it a good time to upsell your current clients. And I'm going to cover 4 or 5 tips on just upselling in general and how you can make more revenue from upselling your clients. So anyone who's new to these webinars, my name is Dylan Hay. I'm actually very similar to a lot of you who are tuning in here today, I'm hoping. So I also run my own digital marketing agency. I don't actually work for Promo Republic as such. I help them with this agency and freelancer program and leading some of this content. But at my core, I have two businesses. I run my own digital marketing agency, and we focus specifically on helping SaaS and software companies scale their revenues with paid ads. And I also have a coaching and training business where I coach and mentor other entrepreneurs and help them build out a personal brand that generates revenue for their business. That's a little bit about me. I've previously worked at some companies you might have heard of, such as Hootsuite, I guess a big competitor to Promo Republic, a SaaS startup called Leadfeeder, of course, Promo Republic, and a few others within this space. I love social media. I love seeing other agency owners, other entrepreneurs grow their businesses through personal branding and through social media. I host a iTunes or top 15 iTunes podcast as well called the Social Media Growth Show. And I think that's enough about me. We're not here to talk all about me today. Instead, we're here to give all of you who are here on this webinar with me today as much value as possible. So I think we should get straight into things. So we're going to begin with a section that I've called defining your service offering. So before we get into this, I actually have a quick question for everyone who is listening, tuning in live tonight or this morning, depending on whereabouts in the world you are. And I want to ask you this: what kind of agency are you running at the moment? And do you offer multiple services? And do you focus on a specific niche? I know it's kind of three questions, so feel free to answer whichever one you want. But for me, as I said earlier on, my agency, right now we only offer one service, and that is paid acquisition. So Facebook and Google ads for SaaS companies. So our niche is SaaS businesses, and that is it. But I know we will likely have social media marketing agencies on here. We will probably have more broad digital marketing agencies that are offering multiple different services. But I would love to hear from some of you on this webinar today, what your service offering is, maybe what niches, if any, you focus on. And then that can mean that throughout this webinar today, I'm going to be able to hopefully share some more kind of hands-on tips with some of you. That's part of this kind of new structure of these webinars, is that we're going to be deep diving a little bit more into some more hands-on actionable stuff. So, okay, we have Bernard says they focus on email automation. Lorraine is a digital agency specializing in social media and email marketing. Ken is currently doing website development for small businesses. Jack is a full service agency. We do not verticalize, but looking to choose 2 or 3 verticals as core offerings. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Tiara, full service, social media management, copywriting, blogging, etc. Todd. Okay, so we have a variety of people here, which is great. So let's get into things. One thing that I say is really important. This kind of image, I was trying to illustrate the fact that now within the digital marketing world or sphere or space or whatever you want to call it, there are so many different services that we can be offering, so many different social media networks that may work for some customers, may not work for others, so many different options, and there is a lot of competition out there as well. And when a client is considering your services, they're probably going to have a lot of questions, right? So more than anything, they need to know exactly what it is that you do and how well you do it. Some clients might come to you needing only one type of service for a very specific need, whilst another client might be looking for a more comprehensive, full service experience. So how you define your agency and your agency offering is really, really important. And I think this brings up the question of whether it's best to specialize in just 1 or 2 key services, or maybe 1 or 2 key niches, or whether you should branch out into as many aspects of digital marketing as possible. And there is no right or wrong answer to that. I think a lot of this depends on what your preference is, maybe where you are in your agency journey, etc. Me personally, as I said earlier on, my agency now, we focus solely on paid ads for SaaS companies, but it wasn't always that way. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about that in a moment. But yeah, it can be difficult to define your purpose and your service offering, though. So sometimes it's hard to know where to start. And that's what I wanted to help you out with today. So a couple of areas that can maybe help you with where to start when defining your service offering and the way that you position yourselves as an agency, because it doesn't take long working within this like digital marketing world before you realize that it is an incredibly fluid industry, right? So what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow, and the trends and changes are constantly shifting this digital marketing landscape as we know it. New things are always coming up, new trends are always appearing, etc. So with this in mind, I think often a big question is Taylor back. So I can see Lorraine says in the chat that she can't hear. Is anybody else having that problem? Okay. Okay, back now. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I'm not sure how much of that you missed. Can you let me know if everyone can hear me again now? I'll just keep talking for a second. Okay. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. I'm not sure why things went off, but basically I was saying that um, is it better to start with one or two key services and expand, or maybe go all in with a full service approach from the beginning, or maybe start with a full service approach and generally niche down? And there isn't any right or wrong answer to that, but I think if I was to offer only one piece of advice on this, or three, as you can see on the screen, it would be to play to your strengths, to focus on quality rather than quantity of services, and to remember that you can always reassess what it is that you're doing. When I first started as an agency owner in May of last year, I was offering every single service imaginable, and over time I worked out exactly where the requirements were within my niche and what we were best at, and the easiest way for me to kind of grow and scale in the way that I wanted to. So I started wide and then niche down, but lots of people have done it the other way around, and some people have great success being a full service agency. So it really is up to you. Okay. But I think one thing that you should consider is that there are so many like mediocre digital marketing agencies out there at the moment. Unfortunately, everyone claims to be able to work miracles, but often in reality, it's hard for them to produce the kind of results that they talk about. So I know that you understand, if you're on this webinar, the importance that like the performance that you need to show to your clients for them to value your services. So you really should use this and use your strengths to your advantages. I think for me personally, the reason that I scaled down into one core service is because I felt like being one of the best in a small kind of defined area put my agency in a position where we were able to show ourselves as the authority and charge higher fees quicker. So that's why I did things the way that I did. But I'd love to hear some of your thoughts about like whether how you started when you first launched, whether you went kind of wide and niche down, whether you've always been offering many services, or what you prefer, because ultimately this is just my opinion, right? And this is what I've experienced, what I've been through. But it'd be great to maybe hear some stories from others that are on this webinar today as well. I can see a few of you are typing away, so let's see if anyone says anything interesting before we move on to the next section. Okay, cool. So let's carry on. So the next part, we're going to talk about upselling versus cross-selling. Now I can see that Lorraine says she started out as a business coach and then went to social media. Now I do everything. Todd says I'm a developer and I teamed up with another person for marketing. Awesome. Steve says, can I know what services you started as? Yeah, honestly, Steve, so when I started, I picked a niche, which was SaaS companies, because that's where my experience was. But I offered basically anything imaginable within marketing. So social media management, paid ads, actual consulting, content creation, basically everything. But fairly quickly, I started to try and niche down. So before we talk about upselling versus cross-selling, I have a question for all of you who are here with me right now. And how many of you can tell me, so I don't want this to be a patronizing question either, but I was just intrigued to see what people's understanding of this is. So how many of you can tell me the difference between like an upsell and a cross-sell? Or how many of you know the difference between upselling and cross-selling? Just so I can work out how kind of in-depth I need to go with this next piece. I'm hoping some of you have an idea, but if not, I have a really simple graphic that will explain everything for us. Okay, cool. So Tiara doesn't have a clue. Todd thinks he knows the difference. Dolores, no clue. Steve, upselling is selling related products to what a client already bought. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're on the right lines. Okay, great. So I thought I would share with you all a food analogy because I thought this would be the easiest way to show everything. So I looked at the actual like dictionary definition of what an upsell is, and that's what you see on the right hand side. So upselling is the practice of encouraging customers to purchase a comparable higher end product than the one in question, whilst cross-selling invites customers to buy related or complementary items. So in the example on the screen, the upsell is asking the customer if they want to go large with their drink, right? Whereas the cross-sell is suggesting to the customer that, hey, look, I think maybe fries and a drink would go well with your burger. Would you like to purchase those two? So cross-sells and upsells really are super popular in pretty much every single business that I've ever known or ever heard of. And often, for some reason, though, as agency owners or freelancers or people in the marketing world, we forget to do these things. And I'm not too sure why that is. So Steve says, can you state the definition again? So yeah, upselling is the practice of encouraging customers to purchase a comparable higher end product than the one in question, whilst cross-selling invites customers to buy related or complementary items. That was useful for you, Steve. So yeah, cross-sells and upsells are so popular. I don't know why we don't do them as often. Like, how many people in here can honestly say that they have upsold one of their clients recently, or cross-sold one of their clients recently? I'm really keen to hear this because honestly, I haven't done much of this either myself. Okay, so this is good. Paul says both, which is awesome. Todd says yes, just yesterday. Dolores cross-sold, Ken both, Bernard both. Okay, so if Todd, you said you did this just yesterday, I don't need you to, or I don't want you to feel like you have to type out a complete essay, but maybe do you think you could give us an example of, or tell us a little bit about what the upsell or the cross-sell was that you delivered on yesterday? That would be really cool. And then what I think I'm going to do actually is share with you all, for anyone who maybe wants some ideas for how they can upsell something or how they can cross-sell something to one or two of their customers. I'm actually going to show you, like right now live, a couple of ways, or like one thing that you could offer to do that. So if we hear Todd's story, then great, but if not, no problems. Okay, cool. So Todd says he built their website and then he added in SEO and social media marketing services, 3-month contract. That's awesome. So that's a fantastic example of an upsell and an upsell and a cross sell, really, depending on which way you look at things and how you package things up. So that's really cool. So how many people want to see like an opportunity or a way that they can quickly cross-sell something or upsell something to some of their current customers? And also, in order for me to show you this real quick, those of you on this webinar who do social media management for your clients, do any of you structure things where you give them a set amount of posts each month? For example, you say, I don't know, we will create 30 social posts a month for you, or however many tweets a month, Facebook posts a month, etc. Do any of you structure your pricing or your agreements in that way? I'm just really intrigued to see. Okay, so Paul says yes. Let's see if anybody else does. Lorraine, yes. Todd, very structured, yes. Okay, cool. This could be a good one for you then. So let me just try and get the I'm going to try and screen share with you all. all. So bear with me because we haven't done a screen share. I haven't personally done a screen share in one of these webinars for a little while. And last time we tried it didn't go down too well. I've done a load of testing before this webinar started. So hopefully it works, but let me know. Bear with me for 2 seconds just while I select part of my screen that I'm going to show you. And as soon as you guys can see it, please let me know. So there should be like an empty dashboard on my screen at the moment. And I can still see the chat section as well, so I'll be able to like follow along with everybody. But let me know that you can see this dashboard on the screen. And please make sure any issues crop up as well, because I want to make sure that this works. Okay, so Tiara says yes. Dolores says yep. Great. Okay, so first thing to mention before I tell you and show you one way that you can like upsell, cross-sell some of your clients immediately to create some extra revenue. What you're seeing right now is actually, some of you will recognize this, is the Promo Republic dashboard. Now, one of the features available to agency owners, if they go ahead and use the agency version of the Promo Republic platform, is that you can fully white label everything. So when your clients have access, a lot of our customers in the agency level share access to this dashboard with their customers because of the approval workflows that we have in place, which I can talk about a bit later on. Okay, so let me just hold on a sec, because Steve says he's not seeing anything. Is anybody else having that problem? Steve says not seeing anything but a blank screen. Steve, there should be a social like dashboard on the screen. Other people can see it, so let me just see if we can get Steve fixed up, because otherwise it might be a bit confusing. Steve, maybe check like if there's another button that you need to click. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to carry on. So yeah, as I mentioned, like one of the things available in Promo Republic at the agency level solution is white labeling, and this is great for when you use the collaboration tool with your clients and you give them access to it. So this is what the white label looks like. We decided to do like a funny little white label today for Valentine's Day, so that's why you see a heart up here in the top left-hand corner, and the pink colors. But of course, if you became an agency customer and you wanted to set up the white labeling, you could have your own logo, your own colors, everything branded up for you. And then up here where it says app.socialway.agency, this is just the test one that we use, but you would have your own domain set up and everything like that. But let's get to the upsell opportunity. So a number of you said that you structure your social media management in packages for your clients in terms of 20 posts a month, 30 posts a month, 12 posts a month, whatever it may be. One immediate upsell opportunity for all of you is to, I call this like a upselling them a premium version of your service. And I will talk about this a bit later on too, but I'm going to show you how quick and easy it would be to do this. So that would be like, if you have a customer that's happy with maybe 12 posts a month or 20 posts a month, upsell them to additional posts per month, as long as you can explain the value to them, which should be fairly easy, right? You can explain the value in terms of additional brand awareness or being in front of more people. You can literally show them the stats and show them how much of a difference that it would make. And for you as an agency owner, if you use Promo Republic, it will literally maybe not take you any more than, I don't know, an extra 10, 15, maybe 30 minutes a month to create this additional content, because Promo Republic itself, for any of you who haven't seen this before, we have some really, really cool features that you can make use of, especially if you're creating content for your customers. And if you're going to upsell them on more content, this is a great way to do it. So what you're seeing here is the post ideas library. And let's try and take a couple of examples. So I think it was Todd who said, forgive me if I'm wrong, Todd, but you said you work with pets, right? So let's see if I can get some examples here. Okay. So Todd works within the pet industry, or the pet niche, I believe. I hope I'm right there, Todd. And what you can do is, in Promo Republic, we have, as you can see, thousands of different post ideas for you and suggestions for you that you can utilize. These are templates that you can either use them as they are, or you can edit them and change them very quickly. So if you upsell additional posts to your clients, this is a very fast way to create those additional posts. And like, let's take a look at a couple of these examples. So maybe this pets camera action one. We can come into here and then we can just quickly click on edit, and everything is set up. But if you want to change things, maybe you have a logo for the company that you're using, you could save that in your area, and then you could come in and come into your upload section. This is where everything would be stored, and then you can bring in the logos. You can change things around. If you want to edit anything here, pet camera action, maybe I want to change this where it says action. I'll just change it to test. So you can see how quick and easy it is to change this. Calling all pets, we're having a pet photo contest, etc. You can change some of the colors to match with your company's branding or your client's branding. There's lots of things where you can like quickly edit and change these. And then all you need to do is click on use. It'll prepare the content for you, as you'll see, and then you can select the social profile you want to post it to. You can type your message in here, and then you can either schedule it, you can publish it immediately, or you can propose this post for approval. And the approval workflows is something that we can talk about a little bit later on, but this is how you can improve that process of getting approval from your clients. Now, this is just a really fast example, but imagine if you wanted to upsell your clients on additional content. This is a really, really fast way to be able to create more content. And this is from the suggested post ideas. Of course, we have upcoming events as well. So right now it's lots of Valentine's Day templates. All of these ideas and templates are updated every single month. There's articles as well that you can see here. There's quotes, which will come up here. So tons and tons of stuff that you can use. Or if you wanted to, you can just go to the editor and you could create something from scratch yourself too. So, and of course you can select different sizes. So we have all the pre-collected sizes for the different social networks here for you. Very, very easy. So this is like one really fast idea that I had for a lot of you in terms of a way that you can upsell some of your clients on a premium package, if you want to call it that. So what do you guys think of that suggestion? And also, what do you think of this this white label? It's pretty cool, right? Where we have the Valentine's Day stuff kitted out. Okay, I'm going to stop the sharing for a second and come back to the deck as well, so we can carry on going. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that because I thought that is a quick and easy option for you, and I also want to show you how simple and intuitive the Promo Republic dashboard is. As an agency owner, I know that one of the biggest, like when I used to do social media management, one of our biggest struggles was communicating with our clients effectively and doing things in a timely manner, saving time. So this can help you with both of those. And if your client sees a white labeled solution as well, then think about how much more professional you look than the other agencies out there. And for that, just for that alone, you can start to charge a premium and charge more. So I see a question from Tiara saying, does Promo Republic post to Instagram? Yeah, so good question, Tiara. Like I'm sure you've been aware of some of the issues with direct to Instagram posting since Facebook and Instagram had some issues early on in the year. So there are some ways that you can do that. Maybe some of the people in the group who currently use Promo Republic at the moment, why don't you let Tiara know what your experience is like with sharing to Instagram and how you're doing that at the moment. That'd be really cool. Rather than me tell you, it'd be cool if maybe someone else and other people can share their experiences with you as well, so you get an unbiased view of things. Tiara, I can see a few people are typing away, so I'm sure some people are going to give you some support and some advice here. And you see Paul says I do it all the time. So okay, so now the next section, the kind of chunkier part of the webinar that I wanted to go through with you all, is some top tips for upselling your clients. And yeah, as Paul said, so because of Instagram's policy right now, we do have Promo Republic have everything set up ready to go for the complete direct integration, just waiting to hear back from Instagram. So right now you need to do it via your phone. It's one slight extra step, as Paul says, but it's very very simple. It's very simple. The alert will go on your phone and then you accept the post. It's nice and easy. Okay, so top tips for upselling clients. Now, some of these are going to be practical ways that you can actually upsell your clients. Some of these are going to be the best time to upsell them. Some of them are upsell ideas, and some of them are just general pieces of advice. So, when is the best time to upsell your customers? Now, upselling customers, as we've said already, occurs in every single industry. whether it's offering an extended warranty on a new phone that you've purchased, maybe carry-on luggage for a flight. So I want you to stop freaking out when it comes to upselling your clients in the digital marketing world. Upselling social media management or any other digital service is like absolutely no different, right? Oh, and there's actually one thing before I carry on that I wanted to test on this webinar platform. I haven't used it before, so if you want to, at some point, like at the end of this webinar, I'll give you an opportunity to ask questions, etc. But if you do want to learn a little bit more about the ins and outs of the Promo Republic agency solution, specifically how it works, maybe you have some questions, maybe you want to see what it looks like in more depth, then there is an option for you to actually schedule a call with someone from the agency team. I want to be clear that like everyone who attends this webinar today, you will receive some follow-up after the webinar too. But the amount of spaces that the team can take for calls each week are fairly limited. And if you do actually schedule a call with them through these webinars, there's an additional discount that's offered on the price. It's like a special we do for everybody on webinars. So if you do want to schedule one of those calls, I'm going to test something right now with the webinar software. So let me know if this works. There should be like a call to action button appearing on your screen right now. I haven't used this before. I normally put the link in the chat. So let me know if the call to action is appearing on your screen right now, because this is like a new test for me. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, so Todd sees it, Dolores sees it, Paul says it's there, Ian, it does, yes it is. Okay, awesome. So I think it should stay up on the screen for a minute. Yeah, maybe give it a test. Like if any of you do want to learn more about the agency solution, of course I'm happy to answer questions, but the best thing is to book a call. So I will only share this like call booking link one more time. So yeah, if you want to book onto a call, there's limited spaces and you can see the time is running out already, down to like 20 seconds. So please go ahead and schedule that in. But let's get back to where we were. So as I said, like upselling, cross-selling is a common sales tactic, but it's essential for every and any business. And this is why I did some research and I found out that the probability of upselling an existing customer is 60 to 70%, while the probability of selling to a new prospect is only between 5 and 20%. So like statistically, it's easier to upsell your clients rather than try and generate new clients. I also read that B2B companies generally experience anywhere up to 90% of customer revenue from following on from the additional sale. So when is the best time to try and upsell your clients? That's what I want to share with you. These are 3 ideas. So number 1, during the initial pitch. Number 2, once you've achieved a milestone for them. And number 3, during one of your many check-in meetings with them. I think these are all the perfect kind of times and scenarios to bring up those conversations. So why don't one of you let me know when, like, I know some of you said you've constantly or frequently upsold your clients. When was the last time you did it? Like, not as in yesterday, but when did you actually do it? Was it during a check-in meeting, during an initial pitch, just a call with a client? Maybe you went through your current customer list and decided you could add some extra value to some of your customers. How did you go about that conversation with them? Okay, so Dolores is during the check-in meeting. That makes total sense. Okay, so as I said in the last slide, it is easier to sell to an existing client than a new one. So I want you to embrace this thought. It's super important to your sales strategy that you make upselling clients as much of a priority as closing deals with new ones. Because another cool stat that I have for you is that even if you add an extra $1,000 of work per month, that could result in $120,000 of sales for small agencies who work with just 10 clients. So if you upsold 10 clients, an additional $1,000 of revenue, you can make over $120,000 extra each year. But so many of us don't know where to start when it comes to upselling. So I'm going to share some tactics and advice, and I'm going to go through 5 top tips or 5 ideas with you right now. Number 1. We talked about this already, basically, when I walked through the Promo Republic dashboard with you, the white label dashboard. This one is like super effective, super simple. In the retail world, this would be like when you go to buy an iPhone and you offer one, or someone offers you the one with more storage, or maybe the one that already comes with the app. So for agencies and consultants, it's as simple as offering more of the same service that's performing well. So maybe you offer them 10 blog posts a month instead of 5, or 30 social media posts a month instead of 15. Or maybe you could offer an extra layer to your service, like maybe they could have some more of your time or a dedicated person within your team, etc. So we've already covered this one, so I'm going to move straight on to tip number 2. And that's something that Todd actually mentioned earlier on. He said he extended the service for a discount. So it's common for a slight, maybe not a discount, but he extended the service. Now, this is a great upsell. It's common for high-end like computers or cameras to maybe sell like warranties and stuff like that. For me, I only offer a discount at one time when I'm selling to people, and for one reason, and that is if they agree to pay either the full amount upfront or extend the contract time. So if you normally do a month-to-month rolling contract, why don't you offer a discount if they purchase or they sign up to a 3-month contract, or if they pay the first 3 months upfront? That way they get a discount, they feel good, but this is an upsell for you because you're getting more revenue, it improves your cash flow, and depending on the size of your agency, something like this can actually really improve how your like day-to-day operations run, especially if you need more cash flow. So I'd really recommend this strategy. How many of you do this at the moment? Let me know if any of you are currently like offering a discount for an extended service or trying to upsell people by extending the service offering. Awesome. So we have a few of you that are, which is great. Now my third idea for you is just offer a complimentary service. So maybe you drive a ton of traffic to your client's website through blog posts that you're creating for them, through social media management. Why don't you show them the value of retargeting ads and help them capitalize on that additional traffic that you're driving through retargeting people who have visited these blogs, seen these social media posts with an offer to then create your client more revenue. This is like one idea I had. Offer them a complimentary service, and if you actually want to take like this exact example and start doing that, Promo Republic are offering now this like intelligent ads service, it's called. So it's a service like add-on to Promo Republic itself, where Promo Republic team will manage some Facebook ads for your clients. So if you do want to learn more about that, you can also use the link to book onto a call with someone to discuss the agency level of Promo Republic when I share the link one more time a little bit later on. But that's one additional thing to add. But offering a complimentary service always makes sense, like Todd did earlier on, where he sold a client a website development and then he upsold them on SEO and social media management services. So that's a really good example. Now, number 4, this one is a tip that I've been learning about recently, and that's price anchoring. So what would be the best way to sell maybe a $2,000 watch? It would be putting it next to a $10,000 watch, or at least that's what the saying says that I found online. But this is known as price anchoring, which basically draws on the cognitive bias of a person to interpret value based on another piece of offered information. So I was actually reading about this technique this morning in a book. So I'm reading this book called Sell It Like Serhant by Ryan Serhant. I don't know if any of you know him, but he's a real estate broker in New York. Really, really interesting guy. I really like his stuff, actually. And he told the story in his book that I was reading this morning, where he says that like he shows somebody, when he's showing people property, like he sells high value properties, like multi-million-dollar properties in New York. And one tactic that he uses a lot is he finds out and understands what the person really wants, and then he shows them their dream, like he has 3 apartments for them or 3 houses for them. The first one that he shows them is their absolute dream, and he knows that they can't afford this. It's out of their price range, but it's exactly what they want. It ticks all of their boxes. He shows this to them. They're completely blown away by it, but he says to them, hey, look, unfortunately, this is out of your price range, but this is what you could get if you're willing to stretch that far. Then, straight after that, he'll show them a property that still ticks a lot of the boxes, or most of the boxes, but is a little bit above what they said their initial budget was. But more often than not, the people will then go with this property. And this is one way that he uses price anchoring to increase the average like order value for his clients. And you can do the same with your clients too. In the marketing world, price anchoring is often shown or described as the rule of 3. So where you give like 3 variation with gradual increases in price. What I'm showing on the screen This isn't necessarily like a pricing format that I recommend. It was just one that I found online today that I wanted to share with you because it's a good example of showing you like price anchoring and how they're using the rule of three to show you different prices. Tiara, what pricing do you recommend? So Tiara, that is like, unfortunately, it's a super open like question. I'm happy to try and help you out on that, but it really depends on on so many variables. Maybe at the end of this webinar, when we do some Q&A, I can try and give you a hand and try and work on some things there for you, if that's okay with you, because I think that could take a bit of time. Cool. Okay, so number 5. Now, this isn't like an upsell idea necessarily, but this is more of something that is very, very important when you're trying to upsell clients. And yes, Ken, that is the book, Sell It Like So. And it's very short, like you'll probably read it in a couple of days, but there's some good like sales nuggets in there. I found it interesting. I'm nearly done with it. Actually, I should finish it tomorrow, I think. So yeah, when you're trying to upsell your clients, like how can you expect to upsell clients if you can't even communicate with them properly? So 78% of agency owners actually say that the approval process is the most time consuming and problematic thing that they face. Now, how many of you see this issue with your clients? Like how many of you find it difficult? Or maybe this might be a better question. How many of you are creating like content calendars or content plans in Google spreadsheets or Microsoft spreadsheets and then sending them to your clients by email and waiting to hear back from your clients and chasing them up and having meetings with them? How many of you are doing that? Just let me know. Okay. Dolores says all of the time. Tiara used to do that. Okay. Is anybody else doing that? Does anybody else have that issue? Okay. Seems I can see Ken is typing something. It'd be great to hear from some of you other ones as well. So Ken says I'm exploring a couple of collaboration tools, Plutio being one. Okay. So I can actually show you something that can like, well, my first question is how many of you want to stop that being a problem? How many of you don't want to be consistently like emailing back and forth with your clients or using Google Docs or Google Sheets and sharing that with them? How many of you would like to stop that or see that come to an end? Yeah. Okay. Tiara would, Dolores would, Lorraine would, Zahid would. Okay. So great. So let me show you one more thing that will help you out. I'm going to go back to my my screen sharing again. So give me 2 seconds just while I get this open for you all. Okay. All right. Oh, bear with me for 2 seconds, everyone. This shouldn't take much longer. Okay. Let me know once you can see my screen. It should be like the nice Valentine's Day dashboard again. Now this is just a demo account, so that's why you're not seeing a ton of like information in here, but let me know once you can see it, and I'm going to show you how you can stop this problem. And do this, I'm also going to actually I'll do this afterwards. So let me show you how you can stop this problem. Now, as part of, some of you said you're already Promo Republic customers, some of you aren't. I would imagine a lot of you who are Promo Republic customers are probably just using the kind of original Promo Republic and not the agency version of the solution. So you've already seen the white labeling and all that cool stuff. There are a few other ways that the agency solution really stands out from standard Promo Republic, which I can talk about a little bit later on. But I just want to show you how you can improve that process where you don't have to be creating Google Docs, sharing them with your clients, following up with them, trying to get the approval, and how you don't have to be using other tools like someone mentioned Plutio or something else. Like you can literally do all of this from within your own agency's white labeled dashboard, and you can look like absolute pros whilst you're doing this. And like positioning, I always tell my my coaching students that positioning is everything. If you look better as an agency and more professional, you're going to be able to charge more too. So this is the dashboard. Let's say we wanted to create a content calendar rather than creating a Google Sheet. You can literally just do it directly in Promo Republic. Now, one of the really cool things, let me just go to my own Facebook page because it'll be empty and we can test this a little bit. But you'll see that like we have all of the dates listed out. Now we can click this tab here, upcoming events. So if you're stuck for ideas for content for your clients, Promo Republic will literally give you all the all of the events, like the annual days or whatever it is, for basically every single day, like throughout the year. So you can see today, obviously Valentine's Day. There's a load of suggestions here. Maybe let's go to next week and see next Tuesday, National Lashes Day, National Chocolate Mint Day, International Tug of War Day. Thomas Edison invents the phonograph. Like, there's loads of stuff here, right? So first of all, you can come here for content ideas. Then you can set your time slots. So you can set like when you want things to be posting. Autopilot in Promo Republic will like auto schedule things for you, or you can create your own like schedule plan. And what I'm suggesting is that then you come to Promo Republic and you use Promo Republic as your content calendar. So you don't have to create one content calendar in the Google Sheet and then import it into your scheduling tool. Just do everything here. And then when you go to create a post, like let's go and create a post for Saturday, the 23rd, Promo Republic is suggesting to me maybe I should do a motivational and fun post, right? So I'll go here and I'm going to create a post. I'm just going to do this as a test for all of you. So let's just choose one of these. So this is a fun facts template, right? Which I can use. So I click on use, and imagine doing this with like all of your content. You can upload all of your content in here for the next month or 2 months or however you want to structure things. This is preparing the image. And again, you can do all of this in Promo Republic. My social media manager, when I used to offer social media management, we would create our content using Canva and Adobe Spark, and then download it to our computers, and then log into our scheduling tool, which at the time was Hootsuite, re-upload it to Hootsuite, and that would take so much time. Just from switching to Promo Republic, it actually saved my social media manager 6 hours per week per client, just from not having to go through that messy process. So that's just a quick fact for you. But anyway, client approval process, that's what we want to talk about. So you create the post. We call it test post. And then the best thing about this button up here, propose this post for approval. You can do that, and then you can see up here, propose to publish on Saturday the 23rd. It gives the time zone, and then I click schedule. And if I want to, I can repeat the post as well, so you can use our content recycling to repeat this every Thursday and Sunday for any reason, right? And then this is the best part. So your client will receive an alert to let them know that something has been scheduled for approval. They'll be able to see all of the posts laid out in your content calendar, in your own white labeled solution. And then they can come here and they can either approve the post immediately, or they can add some suggestions to the post. So this is one way that you can really, really quickly and easily improve the client approval process, make yourself look better as an agency, and save yourself a ton of time switching between loads of different tools. How many of you find that interesting or useful? Because I can see that the chat has gone very quiet, which is understandable because I've just been showing you something. I haven't been asking questions. But how many of you do you think would find that useful? Because as I said, this all of this stuff, as an agency owner, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, your time is so valuable, and time is the only asset that you can never buy more of, right? So if you can save, even if it's just 1 hour a week, which you'll save more than that, but even if it's just 1 hour a week, you're going to be basically saving yourself time and money, which I know is really important to a lot of you. So I can see a lot of you say it's better than what you're currently using. Tiara says, can you save a calendar in a PDF and send it to the client? Tiara, that is a really good question. I'll be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure. Let me check. Yeah, here we go. Export all of your planned posts in one useful spreadsheet providing dates, images, text, and links. So you can export this as an Excel file and share it with your client if you wanted to. Or you could export it to the XLS and then export that to a PDF. So yes, you can. So this is, like, for me personally, I think this is one of the awesome features about the Promo Republic agency solution. There are other things too. I don't want this to become like a full-scale demo because I do want to take questions with you all and help you out through some agency hardships. But whilst I'm here, let me just show you like one or two other brief things. So we do also have analytics here. Now let me see if I can show you. These are all just demo accounts. I'm not sure how these will work out or not. Okay, so here you can see analytics from a Twitter profile that is linked. but we have just launched the reporting. Now, unfortunately, I can't show the reporting right now in a demo account, but I'll try and get that set up for the next webinar. But yeah, there's also reporting Promo Republic at the agent, so you can export some really awesome audience insights and content performance in a really good, nice looking PDF report for your clients. So the idea here is, as an agency owner, you want to keep everything in one place, save yourself time, have a better relationship with your clients, and help generate more revenue for your agency. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. I hope you have found that useful so far. Now, there's just a couple more things I want to talk to you about. So let's go back to our slide deck. Now, one more thing I'm going to do is, based on what I've shown you so far and what I'm going to tell you in the next couple of minutes, if any of you would like to schedule a call with the team to learn more about this, I'm going to put the call to action back on the screen. This time it will stay there for 5 minutes, and then once it's done, it will be gone. The one thing to say, I will show you like the pricing for the agency solution in a couple of slides. But anyone that books a call through this link, if you did end up purchasing the agency solution, you would also be offered a special discount as well. So this only happens on the webinars. I think my understanding is that the team are only allowed to take on like a maximum of 5 calls each webinar because of the special offer and stuff like that. So if you do want to book a call, please go ahead and use this link. I'm just going to press display now. If one of you could let me know that it's working, that would be really useful. So Jeffrey says, what is the charge to bump to agency? I already have a lifetime deal. It's a really good question, Jeffrey. So personally, I don't know exactly. The best thing, I'm not trying to like push you off on anyone here, but because I like lead these webinars and help out with the agency and Freelancer Academy, I'm not like hands-on in the day-to-day running of things. What I would suggest is if you like schedule a call, and then you'll be able to find out pretty quickly. But if you don't need the call, like once you schedule it, you'll also be able to email with the team as well. So, but yeah, I would recommend scheduling a call because there's a special offer be offered out to everybody as well. So maybe take use of that. But can everyone just let me know that that button is appearing on the screen? Okay, and maybe if one of you could like click it just to let me know that it actually works, because I haven't tried this before. It's the first time I've used one of these like call to action buttons in the webinar and in the webinar software. So I just want to make sure it works because I didn't actually have time to test it just before the webinar. I just found it as I was preparing and I thought it was really cool. Okay, awesome. It works, which is great. So just a couple more things, like based on what I've said to you already, like this is how the workflow is structured to help you generate, like we'll focus on 3 core things with the agency solution, right? So the creation element, the collaboration element, and the reporting element. So you can create all of your content, schedule all of your posts in one place. You can collaborate with your clients all in one place, and then you can get your reports and analytics sent to your clients. Now, this is the kind of content creation that we showed you earlier on. As I said, from my agency in the past when we were using Canva and Adobe Spark and then another scheduling tool, just switching to this saved us 6 hours per week per client. So I know that this is going to help you out. Now I can see that Paul says, I had a lifetime account as well. I had to purchase an agency account as a separate account, but it was definitely worth it. Okay, thanks for that feedback, Paul. I'm sure that will help Jeffrey out. So yeah, Jeffrey, I'd recommend just like scheduling in a call, and you'll be able to find out what the additional cost is, etc. But yeah, so we have the graphics editor, which is the content creation element. We have this collaboration platform, which I've shown you. And one of the great things is if you're managing multiple clients, which all of you will be, you can very easily switch between their profiles. So you don't have to like, you can have separate calendars, separate schedules for all of your different clients, etc. And it's very easy to switch between those. Now, one last thing to share with you is this. So this is a comparison table between the Promo Republic agency solution and other products on the market. We did a quick calculation that said for an agency who maybe manages, let's say 30 different social media accounts, and they have a few team members and they would like their clients to have access to this tool, they would like it white labeled, and they need this approval workflows. It appeared from just price alone that choosing Promo Republic could save you anywhere between $600 and $5,400 each year. So as you can see here, the pricing for Promo Republic is extremely competitive. The agency package starts from $99 a month. And as I said, if you do use the link that's on your screen for the next 1.5 minutes, there will also be a a special discount offer to you. I personally think the price is kind of crazy. Like I tell the Promo Republic team that I think they should increase that price, but they're really happy with how it is right now. So yeah, it's really well priced. There's a lot of great functions, features, but you guys have seen that already. Ultimately, for me, if something can save you time and make your life easier, then that is the most important thing. And that's it. That's all I wanted to cover with you today. So everyone that has like made it through here to the end, thank you. I really appreciate it. A couple of things to share with you. So Max from the team at Promo Republic will probably reach out to you all with like a just email follow-up after this webinar. So if you have any questions, you can ask them to Max. But I would recommend, if you want to, there's still 50 seconds left to book that call, so go ahead and do that. And let's hang around and take some questions. Before I jump into the questions, I also want to remind you that the next webinar will be on the 28th of February, and we're going to have a very special guest joining us for that one. So if you do leave us now, I really hope you will join us for that webinar. But now I'm going to answer questions, whether it's about Promo Republic or whether it's about kind of agency stuff in general, upselling. Let's go. Okay, so Jeffrey scheduled a call, which is awesome. Zahid says, do we get training, etc., to help develop our agency with the agency package? Yeah, so this is one of the reasons that this agency and freelancer academy exists that I'm leading, is Promo Republic decided to invest a lot of time and energy and resources into helping agency owners, helping freelancers like grow and scale their businesses. So there will be some like training materials and guides, and you'll have like a customer success representative or manager as well. So yeah, there'll be a ton of support available for you. So Tiara says agency and monitoring are separate, so altogether $148 a month. Tiara, I'm not entirely sure how it would be structured if you went for multiple or like a couple of things. I would just recommend speaking with the team. Sorry, I know it's kind of a bit of a cop-out of an answer, but I wouldn't want to say anything wrong. So the best bet would be to schedule a call with the team. So Marcio says, I've got the agency and white label options. Are other agencies using their white label option to sell access to tool, or are they using Promo Republic to sell consulting services only? That's a really good question, Marcio. I mean, I guess you could white label it and resell it, but I'm not entirely sure, unfortunately. Thank you for the feedback as well, Todd. I appreciate that. Before I get to answering any more questions, I actually have one kind of like cheeky ask from all of you. Like, if you were new here or if you enjoyed the webinar and you found value in what I was sharing with you, one thing that I love to do is help other entrepreneurs, other digital marketing agency owners grow. And I launched a YouTube channel a couple months ago where I share like value-driven videos, etc. If you found any value in what I said today and what I shared with you, I would love it if you could connect with me there. That's the best way to stay in touch with me. And I'm also going to share with you myself and the team at Promo Republic have put together a Facebook group specifically for the agency and freelancer academy, where you guys and girls can all come together and share advice and share stories. So I'd love you to come and say hello in that group as well, which I'm going to share in the chat right now too. Okay, so back to questions. I see we still have like nearly 30 people here, which is awesome. I love this. I love when the webinars are super engaged. So thank you everyone who has been here with me from the beginning. Okay, so Jeffrey, what is meant by monitoring? Yeah, let me see if I can quickly show you, Jeffrey. I may have access in the demo account, but I may not. So let me just double check and I'll see if I can show you. If I can't show you, I'll just explain because it's fairly straightforward. But let me see if I can show you because that would be pretty cool. And anybody else that has questions, make sure you start to get them in now. Oh, okay, that's a shame. I can't show you the monitoring, but basically what the monitoring is like so when you're creating your social media content for your clients, inevitably you're going to get people that are commenting on the Facebook posts, they are responding to the tweets, all that kind of stuff. And it can be a bit of a pain to go into all the platforms natively, right, and find these responses and sort through them. The social monitoring section in Promo Republic collates all of the different comments and engagements from all the different social platforms, and you can separate them out by the platforms. You can show that you've dealt with them, so you can like mark them and check them. You can distribute them to the team, etc., and you can respond to everything. So that's how the social media monitoring works. It's a way that you can keep up with what's going on with the engagements from your posts, and you could actually, I guess, technically upsell that as well to your clients. You could say, hey, look, we're spending all this time on creating content, but getting people responding, and we need to deal with them. So that could be an upsell, I guess. So good question. Let me check. I believe it is included. I believe, but I'm not 100% certain. But I believe it is. Oh, I hope I haven't said that wrong. Oh no, here we go. So you see the monitoring is an additional cost, $49 a month. But like if you book a call using the link that I shared, I'm pretty sure like the team could maybe work out if you took on everything like some kind of nice deal for you all, because you're already going to get a discount as well if you use that link. Does anybody like? I know I said that that link would disappear after 5 minutes, and it did. Is there anybody else that would like me to share that one more time? Just let me know if you do want to book onto a call and you missed out. Let me know, and I guess I could share it one more time. I'd probably get told off for that, but who cares? If anyone else needs that, let me know. If not, who else has questions for me? Because I would love to help some of you out, whether it's upsales stuff, general agency stuff. But if we don't have any questions, then I will just hit stop on the webinar. Yeah, so on the screen, so the reporting is like, isn't the monitoring, the reporting is the statistics from all of your posts. So like the reach on the post, the engagements on the post, etc. in a report, whereas the monitoring is like a live feed coming in of all of the people commenting on the posts and engaging with the posts so that you can respond to them. Zoe says, I do have, please. Zoe, does that mean you have a question, or does that mean that you need the link? Sorry if I misunderstood. Okay, so Paul, thank you. I appreciate it. Good luck. Yeah, so monitoring is collating the feedback. So imagine if you're running like accounts for, I don't know how many clients you have, but maybe you're running 20 different client accounts. It's such pain to log into each of their individual social profiles, like go to their actual Facebook, go to their Instagram, log in, log out for your different clients and respond to everything. You can collect everything here in one place. Anjum says, what is a single web address where we can find these webinars? Yeah, great question, Anjum. So let me share with you. We have the Academy like homepage, which you can use. So I'm going to share the link in the chat right now. So in the Academy, you'll find blog posts, you'll find the webinars, you'll find loads of cool stuff. So Zoe says, so does it support mailing services or just social media management? So I'm not entirely sure I understand your question. Promo Republic is a social media management tool. It doesn't integrate with any mailing services. Marcio, what's your favorite strategy for finding new clients? Great question. So there's been some previous webinars on that, so I'd recommend checking those out. For me right now, my own personal brand brings in a lot of clients. I'm testing some cold emailing, which is working very well, as well as some LinkedIn outreach and also some video email audits that I send to people. Those are my favorite ones. And that's all I'm focusing on right now. I try and hire people to do it for me. So I have someone managing my cold emails. I have an automation system up and running that is managing the LinkedIn, and I'm just about to hire someone to send out video audit emails to people. So I hope that was helpful. But yeah, I would definitely recommend checking out previous webinars, because I actually did a webinar all about like how you can get more prospects and more clients for your agency. I think I've done 1 or 2 of those. But you can also check out my YouTube channel as well. And I'm actually like running this thing on my YouTube channel at the moment where there's this 30-day challenge going on called the One Funnel Away Challenge. And it's all about like, well, I won't even go into it. If you want to learn about that, just check out the last video I did on my YouTube channel. Jeffrey says, is that on the Facebook page? So Jeffrey, all the previous webinars, you'll find them in the Academy. You'll see like 1 or 2 comments above yours in the chat box. There's a link that I shared, get.promorepublic.com/academy, and you can get access to everything there, all previous webinars and content, etc. My YouTube channel, I'll share the link again. If you just search on YouTube for Dylan Hay, you'll find it, but I'm going to share the link with you one more time so you can take a look at that. There you go. There's a link in the chat box. Okay, cool. This webinar was really fun, everyone. So thank you, or this morning, depending on where you are, but thank you for joining. Let me. Oh, I see another question that's coming. Okay. Anjum, I'm missing one reference link to your very first webinar where you provide some insight on lead gen and importance of Facebook pixels to drive traffic. Oof. Okay. Anjum, I'm going to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. It should be in the Academy page, but if not, I'm not entirely sure where it would be. Maybe I'll have to find out and get back to you on that, Anjum. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to wrap things up. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. I hope some of you took up that kind of offer to schedule a call to learn a bit more about the agency solution, and yeah, let's end things. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your evening, depending where you are. And I will see you on the 28th for the next webinar. Thank you, everybody.